Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Hello, hello, boys and girls. This is Legit, of course, and do you feel the Christmas cheer? I do. Oh, yes. I am really looking forward to Christmas. I'm recording this a little bit in advance. You guys are probably gonna see this around like the 18th or the 19th or something like that. But soon Christmas is here, and I thought I would actually share with you how we kind of celebrate Christmas in Sweden. We got a few special, very special, like, traditions here that's been going on for quite a while, and I think I did a video like this last year, but to be honest, like, if I make a video talking about the same thing once a year, I don't think that's that bad. And since about 90,000 of you, 100,000 wasn't subscribed to me back then, I guess that you are not going to mind. At least I'm not hoping. Or I'm hoping at least. Anyways, Christmas in Sweden is actually celebrated quite differently than in the rest of the world. Since basically not even 5% of the Swedish population actually are like real Christians, so to say. Most of us are baptized in the church, and most of us get married in the church, and stuff like that, but we really aren't Christian. It might say that, like, in Wikipedia, that 95% of Swedish people are like Christian, the rest are like Muslim and Buddhists and stuff like that, but really not. I mean, if I would pick a guess, I would guess that there's like as many Muslims as there are like legit Christians and stuff like that, so not that many people believe in God anymore in Sweden, or maybe at least not in the kind of God that you believe in church. So Christmas in Sweden is just kind of what I think it's about, or this is at least what I think it's about, and I'm pretty much sure most other people will agree with me on this one. Christmas in Sweden is mostly about getting the opportunity to come home to your family, celebrate, basically just hang out with your family, spread some joy, have a good time, eat good food, and just enjoy yourself, simply. And I mean, what could be better than that? I mean, it's freaking amazing. And something that's very special about the Swedish Christmas is that we actually open our presents the 24th. So basically Christmas Eve instead of Christmas Day. So we actually get to open our presents. Most families open them around, oh god, I think it's 3 or 4 o'clock, right after Donald Duck, or as we say in Sweden, Kalle Anka. And this with Kalle Anka, or Donald Duck, is a very long tradition. I think it's been going on for 40, 50 or 60 years, like as long as Disney has been making their cartoons, simply. And basically the entire family sits down, watches the TV, watches Kalle Anka or Donald Duck. It's basically a nice little show from Disney, simply with things like Donald Duck, Goofy, called, oh god, what's Goofy's name in Swedish? Långben. Yeah, Långben basically means long legs. Kind of weird though. I think it would be more fitting to have, like, call him Bigfoot or Storfoot or Longfoot or Longfoot. Something like that. Anyways, so the entire family sits down and drink some glögg. Glögg is basically hot wine that has little or no alcohol in it, and is seasoned with different things like cinnamon and stuff like that, and you drink it hot, usually together with raisins and almonds. Most people, you eat some knäck, basically butterscotch, and you watch Kalle Anka / Donald Duck, and when that is over, you start opening your presents, or you open the presents during it. Depends kind of which family you're from and how your family does it, basically. And it's also kind of like, this is something the entire Swedish population does. I think it's over 2.5 million out of 9 million Swedes that watches it every year. I mean, you might think, I mean, like, sure, that's like hardly half. I might even be wrong on these numbers. It can be as much as 3 and 3.5 also. I don't want to, like, exaggerate for no good reason. But that's still a huge amount of people. I mean, usually it's only about 1.5 to 2 million people that watch Sweden play football, like, during the summer and stuff like that. And, like, the or as we call it, EM, Europe Championship of football, and like VM or World Cup or what the hell you call it. It's actually more people who watch Donald Duck than that stuff, so you can understand how important it is to Swedish tradition. And we have kind of similar foods and stuff like that during Christmas, and most of the Swedes eat, of course, ham. Basically, just a big ham, put mustard on it, and like breadcrumbs and stuff like that, and grilled in the oven so it gets a nice golden brown color. And you eat it on top of at least most people do this. You eat it on top of tunnbröd, basically thin bread in Swedish. Or if you're going to translate it, of course, it's tunnbröd in Swedish, but thin bread if you're going to translate it to English. And this is something that many people just buy in the store, but usually my family get it from my grandmother, who actually makes it herself. And the bread my grandmother makes is so much more tasty than the bread you get in the store. I mean, even if you buy the most expensive brand in the store, it's not even going to be remotely close to how like homemade tunnbröd tastes like, or thin bread, and simply because if it's cooked the right way, it should be cooked in a stone oven, in a stone oven that's heated with fire, with spruce wood actually, or not? Is it spruce? No, I think no, it's not spruce. It's birch wood, because that doesn't pop as much, I think, or something like that, so you won't get like sharp, you won't get coal in the bread and stuff like that. And it's usually seasoned with different spices. I don't actually know the English words for those spices, so excuse that. And also we have mustard on those sandwiches. Something else that's pretty common in Sweden during Christmas is, of course, the Christmas tree. Most of the people in Sweden have it, but also adventsljussstake. I don't know how to actually translate this, but it's basically a candle holder with variable amounts of candles, and you usually, like if you're gonna go with the traditional one with candles that you actually lit with a real fire, like the wick and the, oh god, what's it called? The candle wax and stuff like that. Then you actually have 4 candles, and you light one at the 1st of December, you light one at the 7th, then the 14th, and then the last one at the 21st or something like that. So you basically like light them a week apart or something similar like that. I kind of suck at remembering stuff like this. I'm not even sure if it should be the 1st of December. And something else that's very typical to Sweden is a Lucia-firande and Lucia-tåg. Basically Lucia celebrations and Lucia train, and this is something most schools have, and also something that is arranged by the government and stuff like that. It's basically like girls and boys dressed all in white. The girls have candles in their hair and in their hands, and the boys have basically a star, like a stick with a little golden star in the end in their hand, and a hat, pointy hat, looks like a wizard's hat with stars on it, and they're called stjärngossar, basically star boys. Fucking silly, I know. And they carol, so that's kind of the Swedish version of carolers. And this is something we always did in my school, and I think most schools actually does this, but something extremely weird happened this year. Like, we have one of the biggest churches in Sweden, where this is usually held. Even as I said, even though we're not very Christian in Sweden, we still like to keep those nice traditions, because they're simply nice, and like people like them. So even if you don't believe in God, you go to the church and watch the carolers sing, so to say. But this year something extremely weird happened. After the first song, a dude comes out and starts rapping. Yeah. Seriously, I mean, don't get me wrong, he rapped pretty good, but still, I mean, you're not supposed to rap when there's caroling going on, and this is something a lot of people got very upset about, and I actually understand them. I mean, in my opinion, I don't even like rap to begin with, so I didn't think it was good at all because of that, simply. I mean, I like some rappers and some rap songs, but I'm not big on like the gangster rap, and that's how this guy looked like. It was like, yo man, I'm gonna tell you about Christmas love and share to everybody, oh yeah, and I was like, facepalm. So as you can imagine, that did not go over very well with people. I don't know if that was like a lame attempt for the church to seem cool, or some kind of bulltrack culturalism stuff, trying to like make it look like immigrants are awesome or some shit like that. But whatever it was, it kind of failed, because like the entire Swedish population got really pissed off about this, especially since it's like rapping. I mean, rapping has nothing to do with this Swedish tradition, no matter if you're a believer or if you're not a believer. And even though I'm not a believer in God, I don't think that rap has anything like to do in this church. I don't know, maybe it's a new cool church coming to Sweden or something like that. I always like black churches better though, like the ones in America, like where black people go, where there's like a lot of cheering and like caroling and stuff like that, like really like cool singing, like oh hallelujah, oh hallelujah, stuff like that. I think that shit is awesome. I would go to a church like that. But anyways, something else that I really wanted to talk about, or just mention quickly at least, because the gameplay is coming to its end, is Julmust. This is something that only exists in Sweden and Norway, from what I know, and it's basically like a soft drink that foams up a lot, exactly like beer does, and it kind of has a beer-like taste to it. It kind of is a mix between beer and Coca-Cola, but it's not so much Coke and it's not so much beer. It's just freaking delicious. So if you ever visit Sweden, make sure to fucking try Julmust. And as usual, thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.